make it this far, they hate it, they never believe me. Yeah, I would never drop the ball, I know I make it look easy. Yeah, Mayweather with the defense. I don't care what a critic gotta say, I got them picking up the pieces. That me, you really playing with your life, I'm about to come and run it all back. I'm the new era, about to snap back, you ain't fitted for it cause you all cap like. Hold up, I shoot my shot, wait, hold up. I'm really about to run this go up. You know it's all net when it go up. Ain't got no other plans, you don't need to understand, ayy. We on overtime, you don't need to understand, ayy. You just show them how to do it when you don't know what to say. Tell me how you plan to win if you plan to play the same. Moving fast, already gone, yeah, but you bringing me back. Try to double cross me, dog, just let me relax. Stop assuming what we doing. Keep it moving, what we doing. Cause it can get big and right. Cause it can get big and right. Cause it can get big and right. Ay, please don't play no games with me, I promise I'm too much. Ay, I can never let up even if you had enough. Ay, this ain't for the faint of heart, we always playing rough. I had enough, it ain't luck. I needed a vision, I needed ambition, I needed a mission to beat in submission with no intermission. I see the collision, the crash in the distance, they coming off track, no. Now when they ask what's the motive, don't talk, I just show them. They all about to see what I mean in the moment. I gotta keep going, I'm shaking the dice and I'm keeping it rolling, they already know. Ain't got no other plans, you don't need to understand, ayy. We on overtime, you don't need to understand, ayy. You just show them how to do it when you don't know what to say. Tell me how you plan to win if you plan to play the same. Moving fast, already gone, yeah, but you bringing me back. Try to double cross me, dog, just let me relax. Stop assuming what we doing. Keep it moving, what we doing. Cause it can get big and right. Cause it can get big and right. Cause it can get big and right.
Back at it. I'm running. I'm chasing my ass today, man. Oh, clap it up one more time, man. Before we get this full going. You know we got to do this boxing talk. Shout out to everybody who's in the building, man. Peace, love. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to everybody who's in the building, all platforms, whether you're on Twitter, Facebook, here on YouTube. Shout out to you guys. Thank you for supporting. Hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so yet. It is on, it's popping, it's fight week, man. We got to cram a lot of stuff inside of these next 2 hours or so. Hopefully we don't run over that, and I mean, try to keep it under 2 hours, but a lot to talk about, obviously. It is the craziest fight week so far of the year. Fights all weekend long. Pro Box tomorrow night. Teofimo versus Shakur Saturday. Xander versus Abbas Baharu Saturday. Murder's Aliyah versus Josh Kelly on Saturday. Sunday we have Zufa. Zufa on Sunday. Stat cards all the way across the board, damn near. Probably the weakest card is the Xander Zayas Abbas Baharu card, but still a good card. Great fights on that card as well. Shout out to Rohan Polanco. Shout out to Coach Hector Bermudez. Shout out to all the supporting cast, you know what I'm saying? But that's going to be a huge fight for the 154-pound division, right? Big first unified champion in that division in this little era right now, right? Been a while since we've had a unified champion in the division besides Sebastian Fundora. Yeah, right? I mean, you know what I mean? But Xander Zayas going for greatness. First title defense will be for unification to be the youngest unified champion, right, in boxing right now. That's a huge feat for him to get. We're looking at media week rollout. Shakur Stevenson is doing interviews, right? Teofimo Lopez is doing interviews, right? We're getting some perspective. You know how we do, boxing family, right? We're speculating about what these media interviews are about. We're trying to figure out where the mental space these fighters are in. We're trying to figure out the psychology of these fighters before they enter the ring. So it's a fun week for us, right? As fans, content creators, all across the board, we love media week. That's why they give us media week. We get to see what's going on. Is he look confident? Teo's talking, but I've got my little points that I saw. Teofimo said some things in an interview, and I thought it was interesting, right? That he was actually observing the fact that he's noticing hindsight is always 2020, right? So hindsight, Teofimo sees that Shakur Stevenson has been watching him for a long time. Now, of course, he's going to turn it and paint the picture as if Teo's been a fan of his or stalking him, but I got another way of looking at it. We'll talk about that, right? I've got another way of looking at this situation, whereas Shakur Stevenson is letting the world know in his interviews, hey, my hands are A1. I figured my hands out. That was going to be a big wild card X factor in this fight. He's figuring his hands out. He's not worried about his hands anymore. And he says, listen, the one thing I think that Teofimo is going to find interesting in this fight is how A, great my timing is, and B, how much power I really do have in my hands. Guys, I'm telling you guys, if you've been following Shakur Stevenson, he's always been talking about ever since he came to 135-pound division, how he was going to show the world he had power. He was going to start stopping opponents, but he ran into issues with his hands. We never got to see that side of him, and he became this pillow-fisted guy who's on his bicycle. Narrative started to move around, even though, to be honest with you guys, I've never really seen Shakur Stevenson run like that, except with Dos Santos, right? I mean, you guys can use a Nakatelia fight as an example if you want to, but for the most part, Shakur Stevenson to me has always been a fighter who's about positioning. He's gonna engage, but he's gonna make sure he establishes that positioning. So if you come forward, he's going backwards. If you go, he's gonna make sure he's in the right range, even though sometimes he jumps out of range when he's trying to get out of danger. But it is what it is, right? Never looked at him as a runner, but he's letting Teofimo know timing, power. That's interesting. I always tell you guys, timing, power sometimes looks like speed. You know what I'm saying? When you're there on time and you're able to turn your punches over the right way, it can look like, it can look like speed and power, but it's really about timing. So real interesting points of view from Shakur Stevenson. Speaking on the psychology, shout out to Teofimo Lopez, who's engaged the fan base and been very transparent into the fact that during those time periods, the Sandro Martin fights, the Jermaine Ortiz fights, all these different fights that he was in, that he was dealing with a mental space. He was a little cluttered up there, dealing with his divorce and all those different things. And, he was basically pushing back at the idea that he's inconsistent, or at least not pushing back. He was letting you guys know that he was inconsistent for a reason. That's not normally who he is, and that all those things are out of the way now, and that he's a dialed-in, focused fighter, which means a great boxing match, right? A great boxing match. But this game will be a cerebral game between Shakur and Teofimo Lopez. We'll watch how that plays out. We'll talk about that, of course, as well. I might even open up the panel a little bit later. Who knows? Might even do that, right? What's going on in the room right now? Shout out to Sam from Jersey in the building. Salute, Sam. What's good with you, King? Flexing and stepping in the building. What's good, Flex? What's populating? Miss Van Houter in the building. Shout out Miss Van Houter in the building. Mother of Mozzie Van Houter, who will be fighting on Sunday night's card on the prelims. Up and coming young prospect heavyweights, been shaking up the game. Check out his highlights in MVP. I mean, the hands are nasty and got bad intentions behind him. Real young guy, but a big dude. Probably could have been a tight end or played in the NBA, or what I mean. Look like he had a lot of options on the athletic space. And shout out to any heavyweight who's now potentially young heavyweights who are potentially looking at boxing as an option. We got to understand a lot of these big dudes in the heavyweight boxing scene has been very ashy, to say the least, in the American space. And I think a lot of the fighters, potential fighters, athletes, I'll say, were going into other sports, right? Football, whatever. That's where the money was at. American heavyweight boxing has been down for a long time. So maybe Zufa offers an opportunity for a lot of potential prospect who can turn into a real contender. American heavyweights might revive the heavyweight division, right? If that business model, if that Zufa model really does stick and make sense, right? It is what it is. Shout out to Colton Dean in the building, says, what are you going to do today? I don't know if that's for me. What are you going to do today? I don't know. Where are you going to do today? Okay, maybe that's not okay. Maybe that's not. Virgil Wimberly in the building. What's good? Claymore in the chat. Salute. Fanzo the game. Absolutely in the building. Salute. Hit the like button like he says right here. Hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel. Charlie the Tiger in the building says, good fight. We got Senor. I guess, is Senor Teofimo Lopez? Let's see here. Flexing and Stepping says, I'm putting some extra hours in at work tonight, but I'm watching this joint on my phone. LOL. No doubt, man. No doubt. So a lot of things to talk about, right? Also, Bill Haney puts out a viral little video clip. I don't even have it queued up. I want to put the viral video clip up. But basically, Bill Haney says, listen, me and Devin, we're going to be at the event. Shakur Stevenson versus Teofimo Lopez. You know how Bill sells it. But we know when Bill talks, you should listen. Because Bill doesn't just talk, just be talking, because Bill loves to make great fights. Bill Haney loves to make great fights, and if he's going to be in the building, that should stir up a little bit of controversy. And what exactly does Bill plan on doing with Devin, right? Now, Turkey's involved in this one, according to Bill Haney. That Big Turk is behind this, and you know when Big Turk talks, Bill Haney listens. What'd you say, Turk? Right. Say less, Turk. Say less. You got a bag for us? Shakur Teofimo winner? We all about that. We'll see those guys Saturday night. Winner of that fight may have Devin Haney to take a look at. Now, look, we know Teofimo Lopez has already talked about going up to 147 pounds, right? He said this might be his last fight in the division. He was already entertaining fighting Terrence Crawford at 154. He was trying to fight Jerron Boots Ennis at 147. So we know he's definitely willing to go up to 147 pounds. But what if Shakur wins? And how do we look at the Shakur situation? Are we going to be honest and transparent about it? Shout out to my brothers and my sister Star and my brother Ness and Two Tone over there on the Boxing Voice. They're probably over there right now cooking. But I had to step in right quick. I overslept a little bit today. I didn't oversleep, man. You can't never oversleep, man. I got some sleep in, man, that I obviously clearly needed. My body wanted it. So, hey, man, we don't argue with the body, right? So I slept and I woke up a little late and I didn't get a chance to really go in there and build the way I wanted to. But I stopped by right quick and I told them this. I painted this picture and I was clear with them. I said, listen, guys, I want to paint the picture right before the picture gets painted wrong. Shakur Stevenson has communicated to the boxing space the terms and conditions and the way he looks at it if he was to fight Devin Haney. He says he wants a rehydration clause for both him and Conor Benn at 147 pounds. Says, listen, I'm a 126, 130-pound fighter who's competing at 135, who's a champion at 135. I'm built for 135. I'm challenging myself by going up to 140 pounds and fighting Teofimo Lopez to become a 4-weight class champion, a two-time lineal champion, right? I'm aiming and I'm shooting and I'm daring to be great in that situation. But if I'm going to go up to 147 pounds and fight the Devin Haneys, fight the Conor Benns, which I'm willing to do, I want some checks and balances. I want it to be what I believe is going to be an equal playing field. You can agree or disagree with it, guys. I know. I'm not even looking at the chat yet. I can imagine how people may look at it and how people have taken a look at Shakur Stevenson talking about rehydration clauses, right? Especially, look, let's be honest. Shakur Stevenson has gone on record of holding Gervonta Tank Davis accountable for his rehydration clauses between him and Ryan Garcia, between him and Mario Barrios, right? Rehydration clause, I've heard there might have been somewhat of rehydration clause with Frank Martin. These things, we know about these things. But regardless, however you want to look at it, Shakur's made his position clear. So if you're going to go and push now to make this fight happen with Shakur Stevenson, then we understand what his terms and conditions are. Devin Haney, Bill Haney, you're in a position, obviously, to go ahead and offer these fights. Shakur Stevenson is in one of the best positions he's been in his life as far as options are concerned. If he gets this victory over Teofimo Lopez, you guys can argue A-side, B-side politics, but it's all about options, ladies and gentlemen. What do I have to do? Let's keep it 100. Shakur Stevenson has great options in front of him. He can fight Hitchens for a unification at 140. He can fight Dalton Smith for a unification at 140. He can pull up Raymond Moratala and give him an opportunity to make a big fight after that fight that Raymond Moratala just had with Andy Cruz. He can go back to 135 and unify with that same Raymond Moratala at 135. He has plenty of options in front of him right now. What options does Devin Haney actually really have right now? He's a big star. Great performance, great victory over Brian Norman Jr. In my opinion, Devin Haney, there's an argument, and maybe not even worth arguing, is the best 147-pound fighter in the world. But let me tell you something about boxing. Although people try to play the game with the team, it is a team sport, guys. You're going to see it is a team sport. Even though there's only 2 people in the ring, it's a team sport. Who do you fight if you don't have a dance partner? And where is the dance partner for Devin Haney right now? Where is it? Rolly don't want to fight him. Ryan Garcia is already talking about options, potentially fighting a Conor Ben, who the WBC is mandated as number 1. And Mauricio Sulaiman will jump into a bag in 2 seconds and make and activate some kind of mandatory with Conor Ben to fight the winner between Ryan Garcia and Mario Barrios, right? Lewis Crocker went and is getting ready to go fight Liam Paro. I mean, what options does Devin have? In a minute, Devin's going to have to go up to 154 to find an opportunity, right? Maybe Devin tries to fight Xander. I don't know. If Xander becomes unified, maybe that's an option Devin will take. But at the end of the day, Shakur is not backed into a corner. He does not have to take a fight with Devin Haney under terms that are not, I'm not going to even say favorable. I'll say favorable to him, but at a minimum, if he feels like there's a disadvantage in there and he doesn't want to do that, then are we going to fault Shakur Stevenson for potentially walking away from a fight with Devin Haney if the terms don't make sense? Look, at the end of the day, Devin, you're in a position to tank now. Are you pulling up fighters from the lower weight classes now to make your big fights? I mean, I don't want to put a jacket on Devin like that because I do think Tank and Devin is two completely different conversations, right? Clearly, Tank had fighters who wanted to fight him, and he was choosing to move the way he was, and it looked like he was strategically moving around the elephant in the room. But in this situation where Devin's at right now, to go down and challenge somebody who may do something special Saturday night by becoming a 4-weight class champion, beating a Teofimo Lopez, a fight that Teo didn't even want to fight you, Devin, right? You can argue and say that Teo didn't even want to go up and fight you, turn down or sabotage a negotiation and make that fight happen between you two guys. But still, to go down there at 140, to fight a fighter who's just fought one fight at 140, who's been campaigning at 135, and try to paint him as a duck if he doesn't fight you without that rehydration clause, I'm going to call it out right now. And I kind of see the writing on the wall, and it's going to make me feel that you really don't want the fight as much as you say you want the fight. It is what it is. It is what it is. Let me see what's going on in the chat right now. Hot Capel in the building says mass debating is pointless. It's all about the ring. 100%. Right, 100%. This is not about debating. This is not about debating. Hot Capel is about sharing perspective. Everybody has their natural right to disagree, be in a different space. But yeah, debating opinions is pointless. Arguing over opinions is pointless. There's no reason to do that. But I'm interested in your perspective. Feel free to share. You know what I mean? SRTK3 says he already said he's not at 140, so he doesn't have that many options. He already said he's not staying at 140, so he doesn't have that many options. You can look at it that way, but the reality is he's choosing not to stay at 140. If he chooses to stay at 140, he has plenty of options. The bottom line is he can move in different directions, get money, make fights. Shakur's in the best position he's ever been in my opinion, in his career at this point. Right? A guy who's fought to be in this position, especially on the back end of beating Teofimo Lopez, he is the world in front of him, and especially if he does it in a great fashion, right? Dalton Smith has already done an interview saying that he's very interested in fighting Shakur Stevenson. I'm telling you right now, Dalton Smith versus Shakur Stevenson in the UK, money. Money. I'm promising you this. Okay? And not to mention Ray Morata doing his job against Andy Cruz, right? It is what it is. Charlie the Tiger says, Devin should fight Pacquiao. I'm with it. Fight Pacquiao. I'm with you fighting Shakur. Fight Shakur. For sure, fight Shakur. But Shakur's already stated the terms and conditions, right? It is what it is. I don't make the rules. Fans over the games 3269 says if we get a highly competitive fight between them, they both can have a big follow-up with Turkey due to it being a ring card. This is true. This is another option. This is truly another option, man. Vanwick 36 Clay, I appreciate you. How you came to TVV and cooked. I ain't cooked nobody, man. Shout out to my brother Neff. I just needed to shed some light on it because I see the writing on the wall. I see the writing on the wall already. The potential writing on the wall, right? The hieroglyphics say that, Bill, if Shakur wins this fight, there will be pressure on Shakur to go up and make this super fight with Devin Haney. but Shakur has spoken and made his position clear where he stands on this. Are we going to acknowledge that position, or are we going to act like Shakur don't want the smoke? It is what it is, right? TK3 says Shakur already said he's going back down because he's not a true 140-pounder. Facts. He said he's only doing that for Teo, but did say he would go up to fight Conor Ben. Listen, all true, SRTK3. We got to come up with a nickname for you. We got to get a name that, I can say. I don't want to say letters, so I'm going to figure that out. We can figure that out together. You let me know if there's a nickname or something. I don't want to continue to do this with you, brother. I love what you're saying here. I love the engagement, but SRTK3, I need help. I'm asking for help, right? So help me out on this one. But what you're saying is true. Everything you're saying is true, and we know that. And he's made his position clear. That being said, Devin Haney and Bill Haney should take his position into consideration. And if you're really trying to make this fight, then what are you willing to do? Concede to, compromise on what position to show us that you really want to make this fight, understanding that Shakur Stevenson has already taken to the social media streets. He's already taken to the interview in the media streets, and he's stated his position clear on how he plans on moving his career. So how are you going to navigate around this and make this fight happen? Make this fight happen. I emphasize, make this fight happen. What are you finna do? I don't know. Let's go. Sam from Jersey said, let's go. Claymore Ray in the building. Let's get it. Sam from Jersey with the $5 super chat. Said, the one we've been waiting on. Give us the boxing talk. Claymore Ray is fight week for sure, man. For sure, man. Shout out to my guy. You're so good. The engagement is so good, brother. I need a nickname, man. Oh, there it is. Just say K3. There we go, K3. There we go. K3 says you're right, but I'm just going off what he said. He would have a lot of options going forward. You're K3, bro. You ain't gonna get no arguments from me, man. You've been talking that shit. You've been cooking, baby. You've been talking that shit, man. I can't lie to you, brother. You know what I mean? And all I hear from you is, you know what you're doing right now? You're telling me Shakur Stevenson has made his position clear. You know what I know. Shakur's been transparent, like an HD window. You know what I'm saying? That's been cleaned with the streakless glass cleaner. This is where I stand. This is who I am. This is what I'm willing to do. This is where I'm at in my career. Devin and Bill, if you show up to Madison Square Garden pushing for a fight with Shakur Stevenson, brother, you know what you're dealing with. If you move anywhere around that, I'm going to have to call it what it is. And I love you guys. You guys are legacy fighters, my favorite kind of boxer, always challenging yourself, always looking for the best fights. Well, this situation is a little bit different, just a little bit different, in my opinion. And we could talk about it. It is what it is. Shout out to SJ's Boxing IQ says, I think the rehydration is fair because Devin is in his third weight class, so he should be comfortable weighing in at 157 fight day. EJ and Boots did it with the IBF belt. Why not? Make the fight. Make the fight, man. Von Wick in the building said, hit the like on the way in. No doubt, Von Wick. Salute to you, family. Salute. SOB TV, what you doing, fam? Hey, man, it is what it is, right? I'm not going to waste another moment. I've already kind of, I've been doing my little soliloquy, but I wanted to elaborate on my position on the Boxing Voice. If you guys saw me at the Boxing Voice, I came in blazing because I just woke up about an hour and some change ago. So I'm feeling great. You know what I mean? I didn't have no coffee yet this morning, but I heard the conversation. And I also knew that the Bill Haney and Devin Haney coming into Madison Square Garden Saturday was going to be a big point of conversation because this is all about the big fights. Turkey promised a big fight for the winner of Teofimo versus Shakur Stevenson. And now he's backing it up by bringing Bill and Devin Haney into Madison Square Garden. Like I said, the writing may be on the wall, but are we going to take into consideration Shakur Stevenson's position on what he's going to do in his career, what he said he's going to do? And more importantly, forget about what we think, is Bill and Devin going to take that into consideration? And what are they willing to do to make the fight? I emphasize and double back up on make the fight. If you're going to make the fight happen, how do you plan on running it? Shout out to everybody in the building. Hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so yet. I won't waste another moment, man. He's here. You hate him. You hate to love him. You love to hate him. You already know I always bring him in the same way. But hey, one day you guys might understand, right? Maybe. But until then, it is what it is. Shout out to my guy, Reyes Boxing. Most hated, most hated, most hated. I gotta put that on my soundboard. I'm gonna put that on my soundboard. What's good with you, Reyes?
Hey, man, first of all, I know tons of people out there love me. And the most important thing for me is that the family loves me. So it's a family affair for me today, wearing the Liver La Vida Loca shirt that my sister got me for Christmas. Again, I'm a little over 3 years as a liver transplant, so always celebrating life. And as you can see, this is the first edition. They don't even make this anymore, of the Hearn brand. My cousin is the owner and designer of his own streetwear style fashion clothing line. If you guys want to check that out, it's Hearn, HERN .project. He's got some new swag coming out. Hoping to wear some over the weekend if I go see Jaleel and the rest of the gang at the Zufa boxing show. And yeah, Clay, like you said, man, a lot of people just don't understand our takes on Zufa, right? And honestly, you're absolutely right. I probably catch more hate about it than anyone. Shout out to the Hangout Spot. Shout out to Johnny for always letting everybody speak their minds on his show. But man, Clay, the vitriol that not just me, by the way, but there were fighters that were saying, "Hey, man, why don't you guys talk more about Zufa?" Right in the channel the last couple of days. And I think what's happening now in the space is that, I just sent you that video of Dana White talking to Bloomberg, bro. That's a Wall Street business channel, right? And there's so many things happening business wise with what TKO is doing, and Dana White is a big part of that whole group, right? With Nick Khan and Ari Emanuel and everything. I mean, we just heard about Tyson Fury, which you were right, bro. I didn't see it the way you saw it, but Netflix is involved. Netflix is a big player in boxing, which shocks me because honestly, I was like, Tyson Fury for sure people know, but now nobody really knows Makhmudov. So why would Netflix allow this? But it's not really so much about Tyson Fury more than it is about Turkey Al-Sheikh in the ring, right? So if you got the man who is controlling the commissioner, as Bill Haney so eloquently said, the current commissioner of boxing, Turkey Al-Sheikh, who is essentially setting up the entire salary cap for all the fighters, right? Well, on one side, a competing side, in Netflix, Turkey Al-Sheikh is working with them. On another side, on their competition, CBS Paramount Plus, Turkey Al-Sheikh's working with them too. So how can boxing fail, Clay? It will not. Not only will it not fail, here we are at the end of January, and we got a fight. I've never seen this much boxing, as I was telling you on our private conversations. I've never seen this much boxing in our lifetime, Claymore. Never, dude. Friday, we got Pro Box on YouTube, free for everyone. Saturday, you got a YouTube. You got the Zone in the morning with Bakram Kelly. You got Tubi with Xander Unification against Abbas Baru. You can pay to pay-per-view, or you can do what Claymore's doing and pay the ultimate package of $45 a month, and you get to see the whole Teofimo Lopez, Shakur Stevenson, Madison Square Garden card, right? They also announced, I don't know if you heard about this, but Boxer is allowing their BBC, the British Broadcast Channel show, to be on the Zone also on Saturday. On the Zone on Saturday also.
We got to do something about it, Reyes. They gotta do something. They can't do this to us. They can't keep doing this to us. You can't have me on my show saying that all the damn time, and that you shout out to my culture, bro. We're diabolical, but you need to work on it. British, what is it? Broadcasting.
It's the British Broadcast. I think it's a British Broadcast Channel or the British Broadcasting Company.
You need to do better, bro. This BBC, is America. You're not gonna have me BBCing it on my damn channel every other minute, bro. You're just not gonna have no. I'm not doing it. All the clickbait. You know how diabolical the trolls are out here in these streets, bro. They will click that shit and destroy us out here in these American streets, bro. We can't keep doing it. I'm sorry, Reyes. I'm sorry, man.
No. But there's all of that on Saturday, which is just insane. We got a major boxing match in Puerto Rico. We got a major boxing match in the UK. We got a major boxing match at Madison Square Garden. You got Teo and Shakur at center court at a Knicks game, right? Baccaram and Kelly, they're doing all kinds of UK press for that one because it's a big deal if Josh Kelly could win a world title, right? Puerto Rico, bro, I heard is like 18,000 or something crazy for the Xander Zayas versus Abbas Baru fight, which is a 50-50. Again, we're leaning Xander, but I'm just saying.
And we can talk about that fight too a little bit later. We definitely will talk about it because I'm telling you, this fight right here on the back end of a victory for Xander Zayas here, he puts the whole division on notice in real time.
Absolutely.
If he can stay at 154, of course, because we're talking about a growing young Xander Zayas who's every time. I don't know if you've seen his pictures. He is flexing. He's
flexing. Yeah, he's getting that man muscle. And then to cap it off, man, I can't remember a time other than because of Cinco de Mayo last year, it was forced to be here. And that was Inoue versus Cardenas. That was on a Sunday on Cinco de Mayo weekend, right? He's the one, Inoue is actually the one that saved that entire weekend. So thank goodness for the ESPN card on a Sunday. But as a consistent basis, I have never heard of a Sunday boxing consistently. And we're going to have Sunday boxing on February 1st to start the month, Clay. Starting the month, February 1st with Zufa Boxing and an amazing card, which I'm sure we're going to be talking about today. And the matchups for it. If you guys, I want to shout out everybody who's watched the Jaleel Hackett and Bernard Hackett interview. Thank you for all the positive remarks, both live and all you guys who are watching it on replay. I'm seeing a lot of the comments from the replays. If you guys haven't checked that out yet, it really gives you a good insight as to how Zufa Boxing really works for the fighters and the managers. So please check that out on the Claymore Rain at the ATP Combat Media channel. And then, yeah, man, Clay, we got guests coming in next week, right? Van Houter, Julian Rodriguez, they're all going to be coming, dude. And then a little,
inshallah, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's what we'll be looking at. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no. We'll get them in here. A little, as you know, Clay, I like to throw these little nuggets so that we can go back to it. If I end up being right, which I'm pretty confident I will be. Word on the streets from sources is that the UFC, who does a Tuesday Night Contender Series, and the Tuesday Night Contender Series is fighters who are outside the UFC fighting each other to try to get a contract in the UFC, right? Well, guess what? Zufa Boxing's doing it too, from what I hear. And it's supposed to begin in May.
We're talking about like a contender series, right? Like
a contender series of fighters who need to try to prove to them, right, that you do deserve a contract with Zufa. So I see that for now. I'm going to say it this way. I see that as so many fighters now are knocking at Zufa's door. They're going, oh, hey, you guys didn't advertise to us that you guys were signing fighters all the way. Because as Bernard Hackett told you, told me, told you on our interview, he said they weren't like advertising it. Hey, Zufa Boxing is open. What they were doing was individual drafting. They were talking to Julian Rodriguez January of 2025. They were talking to Jai Apataya midsummer in 2025. They were scouting Jaleel Hackett even before he was here for the September card with Terrence Crawford. So the first iteration of every Zupa fighter we're hearing about now, those are the guys that got drafted into the league. This next one happening in the summer, because so many of the fighters are like, hey, man, I mean, we heard Kurt Scobie even say it to us when we were interviewing Hector Bermudez. I want to be a part of Zufa, right? There's so many of them that want to be a part of it that it makes sense to me that a contender series would be around. So I'm looking forward to that, because usually the contender series are Tuesday nights, and that means that Zufa Boxing might be doing a contender series for boxing on Tuesday night fights again. So I'm excited all the way through, Clay. Very excited. Yeah. Lots to talk about today.
No doubt, man. Shout out to Ray Davis in the building. What's good, Ray Davis in the building.
What's good?
It's fight week, Ray. We've been talking a lot of shit, man. We've been talking a lot of shit, man, going to this week, man. Ain't nothing like the pudding, man. When we in the pudding, man, it gets real interesting. We're days out, man. It is Thursday. I believe right now the press conference is going on with Shakur Stevenson and Teofimo Lopez as we speak. I think it's going on right now, so I got to catch a playback on that. But Shakur's done some media. Teo's done some media. I thought I've seen some interesting media, you know what I mean? And then, of course, we got all the other fights that are happening. Obviously, Keyshawn Davis, Jermaine Ortiz, Xander. We were just talking about Xander and Abbas Bar. We got so much to talk about as far as fights happening this weekend. So, what are you doing? First of all, how you feeling? How you doing?
Listen, man, I'm kind of disappointed with the snowstorm, man, because I was supposed to meet you up in New York City. I think we were supposed to be covering this. But I took off of work. I did everything I was supposed to do to make it happen. And
this weather it's unforgiving, bro. It don't make no sense. Everybody's canceling. A lot of people are canceling, bro. A lot of people are canceling. Man, I think my guy froze up a little bit there. But great fights happening this weekend. So many fights happening. I saw Teofimo kind of speak on something, Reyes, and I've been telling everybody from the moment this fight started that Shakur Stevenson has been preparing for Teofimo Lopez for a long time. Shakur's had his eye on Teo. Teo hasn't had his eye on Shakur. And how was that going to play out? All these intangibles make the biggest difference when these fights come out. Because when you have somebody who's got their eye on you, though, like when you see Terrence Crawford focus in on Canelo like that, and know that Canelo hasn't been looking at Terrence Crawford, you saw what happened fight night, right? You saw Terrence Crawford who was ready for Canelo Alvarez on all levels because he prepared. He prepared for the best. He's been preparing for the best that Canelo had to offer, whereas Canelo might have slept and looked past Terrence Crawford a little bit, right? Maybe by the time he decided to take it seriously, he didn't put the skin in the game the way Terrence did. Well, here's a situation where Shakur Stevenson has made it publicly known that I've been waiting on this. I knew I was going to fight you, bro. I knew I was pushing for this. The mindset of that, and Teofimo Lopez, who was looking at 154, 147. He was looking at Terrence Crawford. He was looking at Jerome Boots Ennis. He wasn't looking back at a Shakur Stevenson. And now I saw him do an interview yesterday where he said, you know something, he's like, I'm remembering Shakur has been watching me. I remember, you know what I'm saying, being, in the dressing room when Shakur's looking at me, you remember that famous stare that Shakur gave Devin Haney, right? When Devin Haney beat, was it Lomachenko? When he beat, no, was it Lomachenko? What fight was it that was it Regis?
What Shakur stepped in the ring?
Yeah.
That was Lomachenko.
It was Lomachenko when he walked in and he was like, for now, it was Lomachenko.
Yeah, because he
remember that look when he was like, you know what I mean? That look that Shakur has. And Teo's noticing that, damn, Shakur might have been focused on me. So does that play a difference in this situation? Did Teofimo get enough time to prepare for Shakur Stevenson the way Shakur Stevenson is prepared to fight against Teofimo Lopez? And when you're looking at Shakur Stevenson, who's just for him, like he's been waiting on a signature fight his whole entire career. Teofimo's had signature fights, right? He's had the Lomachenko fight. He's had the Josh Taylor fight. This is a big moment for Shakur Stevenson, who seems super confident. He says he has his hands together. He said he's figured it out. He has a system. There's no excuses for the hands. We don't, take that, with a grain of salt, because he's not going to tell the world he has a hand injury going into the fight if he does have one. But listen, if it is what it is, if he is healthy, as he seems like he is, he looks great in the weight class. By the way, I don't know if you've seen pictures of him. He is in great shape. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm telling you guys, I don't know if he comes back to 135. I know that's what he said he's going to do, but sometimes you got to process the real-time data. He looks good right now. He looks like he feels good. But these intangibles that I'm talking about, and I'm going. But the media day, that's what it's for, right? To get our minds going, to make the fight more interesting, more intriguing. At this point in the game, where are you guys standing? Ray, go ahead. Where are you standing on this fight right here?
Oh, man. This is such a tricky fight to judge, and I hate to say it because there's just so many elements to this fight. When I look at like speed and wild athleticism, footwork, I lean towards Teo. When I look at like the guy that has like the cerebral, the talent, I'm trying to use the right word, just the like precise accuracy, the movement, the swiftness, or as they say, the quickness, right? I'll go to Shakur. And I'm like, reflexes are going to be the biggest part of this fight. Reflexes. Remember, I say reflexes, right? Because it's going to be whoever has the better reflexes is going to be the person that's going to win this fight. Because this is a strategic fight. I think we have 2 chess masters at this table, and only one can walk away as the winner. And I legitimately must say that, man, this is so crazy that that we got this fight going on, and it's great for the ages, right? We don't get these fights anymore. We just had a young champion fight, an experienced fighter, which a lot of people thought was a great fight. But this is even a level above that because these are great 2 representatives, 4 belt title holders, 1 to 3 division champion looking to become a 4th, 1 and 2 looking in the 2-time lineal. Like, this has a lot on it. This is a pride fight. This is a fight that has a lot of emphasis, and I just think that if I lean, I don't even want to give you my points yet on where I'm leaning because it's crazy. But if I'm going to say the action of this fight is probably the best I've seen since. You're gonna laugh. Don't laugh, but no, seriously, it's going to say this has Sugar Shane Mosley, Oscar De La Hoya written over it to me. This has that energy, like it has that. You know what I mean? We got a guy coming up to fight the bigger guy for his title. And, these guys have been in the same neighborhood forever. I think one was from, like, L.A., one was from, like right outside of L.A., like San Bernardino or something like that, or Northern California. And maybe I'm wrong about the outside, but listen, it just has a whole clash. Like, this is the tri-state, New York, New Jersey. Like, this is it. Can't get no better than this, man. This is the stats right here. Hey. Yo, strike 3.
Yeah. Well, Reyes, what do you think about those intangibles? I mean, look, from a trainer's point of view, and I'm always gonna. I'm not trying to put your business out there, but
no. Now, as soon as you and Mac, I'm talking to you. Hurry up, man. Hurry up, Mac, with the new channel. So we can let the world know exactly who they're talking to.
Right.
All these clowns talking about me loving Zufa and I don't know nothing about boxing. Y'all about to find out when the new channel comes out. So.
but that being said, though, you're getting a Shakur Stevenson ready for a fight like this to go against a Teofimo Lopez. Shakur's your fighter. He's been telling you, yo, Reyes, man, I'm telling you, man, it's Teo. I'm getting him. You're like, all right, well, you're 135-pound champion. Hey, bro, I'm getting Teo, bro, at 140. I'm working it. I've been talking to the Turk, and you got Teo, who's been looking at Dron. He's been looking at Terrence. You know what I'm saying? Is there an edge there? Is there an edge there that we need to be aware of Shakur Stevenson, who's salivating? You know what I'm saying? And been salivating for a long time for this fight, and a Teofimo's who may be taken off guard a little bit, man. He could be. Where are you at with it? Do you know what I'm saying? With that psychology?
I loved your original take before this fight was even really announced and it was being talked about being made. Right, we had already discussed it, and you had said that the key factor to it all is going to be a mental game, right? And on that same show, I said, I think this fight's going to be either De La Hoya versus Pernell Whitaker, which, as you know, to this day is kind of a controversial type of a fight in terms of what the results were. Or it could be the when we found out how good Pernell Whitaker really is, and that's when he beat James Buddy McGirt, who at the time was known as this great 147 champion and whatnot. So, with that said, the mental aspect, as you alluded to, Clay, it's all mental, right? It already started the minute Shakur locked in his head, whether it was in the amateurs or whenever it was, the minute he locked in his head, oh, I know I could beat this guy. It already, like right there, whenever you're working with a fighter who 100% believes in his heart of hearts, this guy has got every right style for me to embarrass him or to showcase him. Bro, you got yourself a fight already, because again, size doesn't matter, as Terrence Crawford had proven to us, right? Size does not matter, as Roy Jones Jr. has proven to us, right? How many times? I mean, when Michael Spinks beat Larry Holmes, who Larry Holmes at the time was pound for pound the best. He was trying to break the record for most consecutive defenses at heavyweight, and Michael Spinks beat him in a close fight.
Facts.
Michael Spinks was not scared. He was like, "No, though, I can take on that style because I know that style, and I believe I could beat that style." Right?
He assessed it. He went into that fight, and he legitimately. It was like Terrence. I see where you're going with it, man. But go ahead, because but I hear you, right? Like it's one thing to be studying, weighing out the bad and the good and the pros and the cons, and be the guy who has decided I'm going after that guy.
Right?
He is beatable by me versus the other guy who's probably looking at you like, what the fuck? Why do you think you can get me, bro? You crazy? You know who I am? Yeah.
Right.
I do. I've been studying for a while. I know exactly who you are.
Right. And that's essentially, again, from a coach's perspective, that's, I get a fighter like that, I'm already going to be like, well, shit, we got to figure out a way to make this fight happen. And your job now is, it's like, all right, man, I got to get down and dirty and figure out exactly what he's seeing. Then I got to go back and forth with Shakur. Like, all right, so tell me exactly what you're seeing. And if you've been with Shakur for a while, and Shakur's not really the type of guy that coach hops, right? So then you know what his strengths and weaknesses are. So you guys are assessing an entire overall game plan on how you're going to beat Teo. Now, having said that, I think that this is where this narrative of a casual fan will say something derogatory about Teofimo Lopez. Listen up, guys. Teofimo Lopez is, whether you like him or hate him, has proven both resume-wise and on his best performances that he should arguably be in the top 10 of the pound for pound. Certainly when he beat Lomachenko or when he beat Josh Taylor, like him or not, these are accomplishments that if you can't be objective enough to say, oh no, Teofimo Lopez is one of the best fighters out there, then you're just a hater, man. It's just like you guys saying, man, that Angelo guy must be getting paid by Zufa. You just hating on boxing, dude. You're just hating on the fact that fighters are hella happy right now and fighters are bragging about it. And then you need a person. You need to point at someone to hate on. So instead of saying, I hate Jaleel Hackett or I hate Julian Rodriguez or you're saying you hate me. Fine, hate me all you want. At the end of the day, every single fighter is sitting there saying they're happy with Zufa, happy with Dana, happy with this model. And same thing with Teofimo Lopez. You guys want to sit there and say he's not really that good of a fighter. Well, he beat Lomachenko. He beat Josh Taylor. He knocked out Comey, right? And did a backflip, for crying out loud. Teofimo Lopez is one of the best 135-pound champions we got to see. And moving up to 140, let's just not forget the actual fact. Arnold Barboza retired Jack Catterall from having to have Jack Catterall move up to 147. And Arnold Barboza went to Jack Catterall's hometown and beat him. That's the guy who Teofimo Lopez beat in New York when Clay saw it live, right? That's the guy that Teofimo Lopez did the Ali shuffle on and made him look silly. So that Teofimo Lopez, with that much experience and that much athleticism and that much talent, is not an easy out for Shakur. So should Shakur dominate this guy? You guys need to give Shakur credit and not say, oh, see what I mean? Teo was never as good as we thought he was. No. This is a best versus best. They're at the peaks of their careers or at the beginning peaks of their careers. We need to look at this fight exactly for what it is. And it's something that, again, Clay, you and I were having a private conversation about, name me the fights that PBC in 10 years gave us that's best versus the best. Versus, we can stop talking about all the best versus best fights that Turkey's already given us from 2023 all the way up until now. And 2026 is capping off right here, January 31st. Teofimo Lopez, Shakur Stevenson, Madison Square Garden. Bro, I'm leaning Shakur, but I just want people to know, not as easy as you guys think.
Yeah, if you're thinking it's going to be easy, I just think that it's probably an emotional thought. This fight is going to be super competitive. It's intriguing because of how competitive it's going to be. You know what I mean? And if it wasn't going to be competitive, then I wouldn't even care about the mental space aspect, because I'd be like, it don't matter mentally where it's at. It's just levels to the game, right? And he's like, you know what I mean? There's levels to it. It don't matter where this person's at mentally. This ain't the guy who's going to challenge him. He's just too good for him. You know what I'm saying? But when, for example, when you look at a Gervonta Tank Davis versus a Shakur Stevenson fight, or all these fights that we wanted to happen with Tank, the mental aspect of the game comes into question, because we knew that Tank wasn't just levels above any of these guys, that it was going to be cerebral. And that's probably the thing that broke and destroyed the idea of these fights, was the idea of me, you know, potentially having to play that chess game with the Devin Haney's and the Shakur Stevensons. And that's where it happened that. Whereas you got to shout out both these fighters, Teofimo Lopez and Shakur Stevenson. You give them both their props, because they know what they're going into on Saturday. Both these guys know it's not about I'm that much better than you per se. No matter what they say in their media, they understand that both these guys are proven, tried, true, proven generational talents getting in the ring with each other. And they understand the ramifications, you know what I mean, that are on the back end of a victory here. And what it says about them, what it says about them in this generation of boxing, face of boxing conversations around a fight like this. It's all those boxes are checked, right? Shout out to Sam from Jersey with the $10, says, thank you guys for Clay, Angel, and Ray for taking the time and give us great boxing talk on Big Fight Week. We love this channel. We appreciate and love you too, man. Thank you, family. We appreciate the love, man. Thank you, man. Hey, guys, man, thank you for being here. Hit the like button if you're just walking into the building. Subscribe to the channel. Don't waste another moment. Help the channel grow. And for sure, feel free to put some color in the chat too as well. Shout out to Sam from Jersey, man. Always supporting the channel, man. Don't leave him by himself out here. Don't leave him in the cold. You know what I mean? We're in the middle of a winter storm out here on the Northeast, man. We all need each other, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
Hey, Clay. Real quick for my man Rick Timms 9705.
I'm already on it.
Yeah. Can you put up the names real quick? That way for just a little bit.
Bro, I'm already on it, bro.
All right. Our producer Ray Davis is on it right now, so you guys can see the names for just a little bit.
Oh, you mean put it on the panel?
No, put it on the panel.
Put it in the chat. I just type it to him.
I just put it up there. Now we're up there. We're good now.
All
but
right.
Shout out to Rick Timms, man. Angelo Reyes, bro. There he is right there. On
there
the
it is.
Yeah. But yeah, man, this fight right here, intriguing, man. I'm wondering how the psychology is going to play out in this one. I am looking at Teofimo Lopez as the wild card in this one. That, sometimes there's multiple wild cards, but I think the big wild card is Teo. Where's he at mentally? You know what I mean? And how's he adjust? What the plan B, the plan C? You know what I mean? As things change in this 12-round fight, which I believe is going to go 12, as things move, as Shakur Stevenson is adjusting to what you're doing and taking things away from you, things that you thought you were going to have, what is the backup plan going to be? How is the dynamic of senior and Teofimo Lopez Jr. going to work in this corner as they try to put a team effort forward to debunk Shakur Stevenson? We know about Shakur Stevenson's supporting cast members. We know when we're talking about Shakur, you're talking about Terrence. You're talking about Keyshawn. You're talking about Raymond Ford. You're talking about Floyd Mayweather. You're talking about Andre Ward. You're talking about all these outside intangibles who have been in Shakur Stevenson's ear and been part of his development into the fighter he is since day one. When you talk about Teofimo Lopez, what has his supporting cast look like? We know Senior's been his biggest advocate and his biggest fan, his biggest voice in the boxing space, but we've seen Teofimo go over to a Canelo Alvarez team with Eddie Reynoso, and we've seen them reject it. I don't really want to deal with that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
right.
Who has been his supporting cast members, especially considering that the last couple of years we've seen him, go up and down, the inconsistencies, show up and then completely fight down to a fighter who he should be dominating. He's spoken on this, by the way, and he's taken ownership of it and said, listen, you guys, that inconsistency, he hates that jacket that he knows he's earned. He said, listen, divorce, other dynamics, business, all these things have gotten in my way and all played their roles in my mental inconsistencies inside of the ring. But he's letting us know that those things are in the past. The divorce has been settled. He's no longer distracted by those things. He's focused on the sport that he loves. He's dialed in and he wants to destroy that idea of him fighting up to his challenges and down to his worst opponents. What do you guys think about that?
Oh, go ahead, Ray. Go ahead, Ray. No,
sure.
Go ahead, Ray. Go ahead.
Right, so, listen, I'm glad you put it there. I was literally looking at everything you just said a minute ago, and I was dissecting the whole Teofimo backstory on this, and I'm sitting there saying to myself, what chances did he have to win? Even though he may be like the champion and things of that nature, is he really the underdog, like big time through the eyes of the fans? Is this the guy that's going to come out and stand on his toes and dig down? Because every time we look at Teofimo and we look past Teofimo, he surprises us. He steps up to the plate, he hits the grand slam, and next thing you know, you're like, yo, where was this guy hiding? Right? Last time we got Guardado. Last time we got a comeback shutout round against Loma in the 12th. We got an unbelievable knockout with Nakatani and I don't know. I said his name. All right, you're not the other dude, African dude. Thank you. Yeah. But anyway, let's keep moving. I can't believe I forgot his name. But anyway, Josh Taylor beat down. Like, we've seen this over and over again. Even the fight that we thought he all feared because it took so long to make this fight with a mandatory in Barbosa that Angelo just mentioned. Took so long. A lot of people thought this is going to be a destruction to Teal. Like, yo, he doesn't stand a chance. And what does he do? Surprises the world. He comes out. He puts on a performance that we didn't even believe that he was going to have. Was it the greatest performance he ever had? No, because he just came off a Steve Claggett fight. Everybody's like, yo, this guy don't want to box anymore. Who is this guy? This guy is overrated. This guy was never the guy we thought he was. But he showed tried true that why he's the champion in that division. He really showed us who he was. Then he is like, listen, I believe in what I can do, just like Shakur is right now, right? Because what did he do? Called out Terrence Crawford, called out Boots Ennis to move to 154, not 47, to move to 54 and make these fights happen because he didn't mind going up to make, I think Boots was 47, but regardless, to make these fights happen because he believed that he was that guy, that he can do all the things that he puts his mind to. Just like Shakur, I think he only knows what he's thinking. I think as far as Teal Sr., as you mentioned, Clay, I think he's a bit of a distraction, but I think Teal has dealt with that bug so many times in his life. It's like it's not even weight on his shoulders anymore. He just is like, you know what, Dad, I'm going to let you have it. You can do whatever you want. Just don't get in the way. I don't care. You can go over there. You can put on a clown suit and sell oranges on the corner. Whatever you want it, don't get in my way. When it's time to do business, let's do business. You know what I mean? And I think Teal Sr. has respected that to a point where even when he gets that look, like, yo, I gotta calm down. The son's getting at me. Like, he knows. Teofimo Lopez Jr. is going to surprise a lot of people. Whether he puts on a good clinic or he wins the fight, he steals the fight, whatever the case may be, he's going to surprise people. I think this is really what we need as a clash of champions. Like, we don't get this anymore. And that's what I was saying earlier, that with these fighters like this and the mental take of Shakur. And I really want to elaborate on that just a little bit here. Shakur just came off one of his best friends going up in weight and beating and dominating a fighter that nobody expected him to beat. They rode the Canelo wave, and it was like, yo, Bud's going to get washed off the map. So Shakur mentally does have that in his stable, right? He has, I can do this. I've just seen it done. I was right there. You know what I mean? Live and present. So you know what? The thing is with Teal, now I'm bringing it back to Teal. Did this guy think that what his buddy did, he can do to me? So now the question comes in. Now I got to show and prove that I am not Canelo, that I am the guy that can stand toe to toe and I can box with you, and you're going to see, young man. So it's going to be a great interaction. I like both. Like I said, it's truly a 50-50 fight in my opinion. I don't care if anybody has it 49-51. I could take it. But anything more than that, you're bugging because nobody knows what's going to be expected in this fight. And I'm telling you, it is a battle of the minds. This is not a glove to glove battle, hand to hand combat. This is a mental fight. Sure. Trust 100%.
Me. Reyes, go ahead. I'm about to kind of also put something.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Right. The mental aspect, we can talk about it all day long. You know what I'm saying, when it comes to this fight here. But that dynamic with Teofimo Sr. and Jr., the way we've seen them kind of like, it's been crazy. It's been a crazy journey watching them, but Teofimo's definitely been resistant to Senior, right? Kind of had Senior quiet, but you see Senior so motivated. He had that moment with Wally Moses in the lobby of the hotel, you know what I mean? So Senior has a lot on this. He really wants to prove something as well as a trainer. It looks like he wants to prove something as well. We see him in the corner pressing Teofimo Lopez to apply pressure, to move forward. And he's going to need, there's an argument there to say that Teofimo Lopez is going to need that mindset to fight Shakur. He can't sit back on Shakur and play that patient game. Shakur is more, there's an argument there to say that that's where Shakur's strength is. If you slow this fight down and make it a chess game, it's going to be more difficult for you. The real key to success, a lot of people are saying, is that Teofimo is going to have to apply that pressure. He's going to have to force Shakur into bad positions, put Shakur in situations where he's fighting, and he's going to have to start early. You can't play around with this one. And that seems to be more of Teofimo Sr.'s energy. It's always been that for Teofimo, right there. If you ever seen arguments or heated exchanges between Teofimo Sr. and Junior in the corner, it's always been around, come on, get this guy. Like, Senior's always wanted that for Teofimo. So Teofimo in this fight right here buys into Senior's philosophy. This might be the philosophy Teofimo actually needs to win this fight. What do you think about that, Tate?
Yeah, no. So I was gonna say that and by the way, guys, please, we're almost halfway through. We always want to get to the goal of 100 likes. If you guys could just please press the like buttons, help the channel grow, and share it with everyone. It's always been our goal at ATP Combat Media to be more of a show that can educate the casual fans and talk facts, right? So, because we want to bring more people in. We are trying to be a boxing talk show in where we're able to, whether you're an NFL fan, a college football fan, whatever type of other sports fan you are, if you want to start getting into boxing, and 2026 will be a banner year for boxing, we want to educate you, right? Whether you like our takes or don't like our takes, especially for the hardcore boxing aficionados, you know who I'm talking about, Clay. Our whole goal is, again, to educate everyone. So let me start by saying this. You're going to hear a narrative from certain podcasts, certain narratives out there where they're going to try to tell you that this fight is somehow going to be boring. That's what they're going to say. They're going to say those exact words. It's going to be a snooze fest. No one's going to, it's not going to be a lot of action. So let me, Clay, allow me, sir, to retort. All right. Allow me to go ahead and teach you guys how you need to watch this fight. I need you guys to watch this the same way you would be watching a Super Bowl. There's going to be a first quarter, a second quarter, a third quarter, and a fourth quarter. Every single time you see 3 rounds, you need to say to yourself, momentum-wise, feeling, emotions, right? Like, who is gaining the momentum? Because you're going to see it shift. Don't worry about punches being thrown. More so than you got to get a feeling. So in the first 3 rounds, I can guarantee you right now, to answer your question, Clay, that there's going to be a feel out process. As the simple way that a casual will say it is, they're kind of feeling each other out. Well, here's the thing. In every single aspect of any sport that you watch, for example, the NFL, as you know, Ray Davis, they have to do a script, right? Hey, we're going to run these first 15 plays. Why are they running the first 15 plays? Because they need to see what kind of defenses the other team is going to show them based on the 15 plays. And then it's really in the second quarter that they start trying certain things, start trying to throw them off, right? Same thing in a boxing match. In the first 9 minutes, in the first 3 rounds, you're going to see some feints. You're going to see some stance switches. You're going to see, little jabs, but not really like 100% going after it jabs. At times, you might even see someone like Teofimo Lopez blitz Shakur. Not so much because he was necessarily trying to get a punch in, more so than trying to say to himself, I wonder what Shakur will do when I go heavy with a overhand right, or when I go heavy with if I go straight in there, 1-2, right? Let's see what he does.
Right.
It's that next 3 rounds, round 4, 5, and 6, that you're going to start to see the action pick up. Now, I say that, and where I'm trying to teach this to you guys on how to really watch this, right? And I'm not necessarily talking to the chat, because all of you guys are very, very smart, and all of you guys are boxing aficionados. So I'm not talking to you more so than for all the casual fans that's going to be catching us on replay. Whatever happens between 4, 5, and 6, right? Whatever happens between 4, 5, and 6 will dictate the entire second half of that fight. If Shakur feels like he's behind, then you're going to see Shakur pick it up in the next 7, 8, and 9th round. If Teo feels like he's behind, he's going to pick it up in the 7th, 8th, and 9th round. And that's why all three of us here are telling you guys, this is going to be one of those fights where it's like a hockey game. And if you guys have ever been to a hockey game live, trust me, if you've ever watched it, it's unlike any other sport because you can't look at your phone or take your eyes away from the ice because everything is happening so fast. You're going to miss a setup. You're going to miss an action. Next thing you know, you're hearing the loud goal, right? And that's the same way. You guys need to watch Teofimo Lopez versus Shakur Stevenson exactly like that. Pay attention to every little movement. Pay attention to every single feint. Pay attention to where their feet are, where the stance is going to be. Because all of a sudden, you'll see Shakur throw 1-2 to the body, or you'll see Teo leap in and throw a hook. Like, it's going to be that quick. So having said that, Clay, this is where, and we're talking a lot about the mental space, but I'm going to determine that the winner of this match will be the guy who loses their mental endurance first. First person to kind of be like, man, I'm mentally tired. Like, we've been playing this chess war this whole time, and I'm just really tired. That's the person that's going to lose first. But if both guys can stay mentally engaged all the way to the last 10 seconds of the 12th round, and it goes to decision, man, like I said, De La Hoya, Pernell Whitaker, it was close. One judge had it as a draw. It was close.
Yeah, for real. Listen, it's crazy that you say that because I'm literally 1,000% more what you're saying. I see, like I said, I see a rabbit versus was it, what do you call it? How was it? Mongoose. Thank you.
Okay.
Rabbit versus mongoose, right?
Okay.
I got a quick a reactive mongoose that can move quickly and make subtle changes like at a instant. Then I have a rabbit that's just so fast and
you're talking about a cobra, but not a rabbit.
No. I'm using those animals for it. I'm definitely using the animals, right?
Okay, all right.
And the reason why I'm saying I'm using the animals because how hard is it for the predator to catch a rabbit? Just think about it, right?
Okay.
And at the same time, how fast is a mongoose in striking? So we have, both things, aspects of this. So what I'm getting at is like, you're not going to see a cobra versus a mongoose because what does a mongoose do? A mongoose knows how to beat a cobra. They know what to do. They know the game plan. Cobra only goes one way when he's striking. That's forward. That's to strike you. You know what I mean? It's different. We got a rabbit that can bounce back, bounce over, move, kick you in the face while he's turning. You know what I mean? That you see what I'm saying now? And he's quick. He's reactive. His reaction is to not be eaten, right? Is to get away. Where the mongoose is there to use his speed and his agility to get around, to get the striker, to get the person, counter move it. And that's why I said this is what we have in this ring. We definitely have two of the I would say two of the quickest in mindsets. One defensive, one striking or countering.
Right quick. I just want to. It's first of all, Sam from Jersey. Thank you. Salute for the super chat. It says Angelo was spitting. I love this channel. Angelo putting in that work. You know what I mean? I'm watching the press conference as we're talking right now. Teofimo Sr. did not come up on the stage he's not on the panel. I'm telling you, listen to me, man. Listen to me, guys. I love this sport. I'm not always hitting on all cylinders, bro. I try my best. But I'm trying to be fair and objective. I'm telling you guys that dynamic between Teofimo and his father is going to play a big part in this fight. There's pros, there's cons, but here you have Shakur Stevenson on the stage, and he's unified. Jay Prince, his grandfather, Eddie Hearn, Terrence, everybody. He has a support system around him that is transparently clear on where Shakur stands and what he's bringing. With Teofimo, it's an up and down roller coaster. It's sporadic. It's emotional. It's impulsive. And at times, we've seen that translate into inconsistency. We love the way it looks when he's hitting on the right cylinders and he steps up to the big challenges. And we discount the low times to his challengers. We find a way to go ahead and put the onus of a bad performance on the level of competition that's in the ring, and we're not putting the onus on the shoulders of a champion in Teofimo Lopez. Consistency is key. I watch it happen on all these channels over and over and over again. It's because who he's fighting. That's why he looked that way. No, it's because of him. He fought that way. He fought that way. Now, that being said, let me pull back a little bit. I'm questioning the dynamic because Senior is a very outspoken person. The last press conference, Senior couldn't control himself. He was emotionally unstable. Kept getting into it with Shakur, taking the attention away from the fight. You saw Teofimo have to dial him back. Hey, yo. So what did Teo do this time? Hang back. Do me a favor and hang back. If you pay attention to this press conference, they call Teofimo out. There's about a 30-second delay. What's Teofimo doing? Are you ready? Come out. He comes out. He comes out. And what does he do? He walks out to the front of the stage and he does what? An antic. I keep telling you guys, that's how he compensates for the mental clutter, for the frustration. He's been compensating for 2 years now by distracting you guys with fake banana. I sent you a banana or watermelon when he had nothing to do with it. He distracted you guys with let the monkey come get the banana. He's distracting you guys, and people are taking it as marketing genius. They're taking it as, no, this is how he's dealing. This is the awkward way Teofimo Lopez deals with the adversity of dealing with mental health issues. He wants to make it a funny. He wants to make it a funny. He wants to make the room laugh, and it becomes awkward because he's not that. He's not that funny. Now, they can bring it full circle, and we know that this can go one of two ways. It can be a great thing on Saturday night, and we can see one of the greatest fights of the year. We can see something that we all want to see, or it could be a clown show, and we can see him deal with frustration and hit that mental block when he confronted with having to make those adjustments. But here's the key. When you run into that situation, do you have a corner you can run to who can bring you back down to earth and get you where you need to be and get you into the fight? Or are you at odds with your corner as well? Are you at odds with the judge, odds with the opponent across the ring, odds with the man in the mirror, the guy in your mind, and at odds in the corner with your trainer? I don't know how this one goes, right? But just calling how I see it as you're watching the presser, just pay attention to these things and pay attention to how they're playing out. Just pay attention to how they're playing out. And that's why I asked you, Ray, as I said, that dynamic between him and his father. His father is Teo going to be able to buy into his father's philosophy for this fight? Because I'm telling you guys, I think his father's philosophy may be the key to victory here. Because for the first time in a long time, the father's philosophy might be the best philosophy to go into this fight with.
Yeah.
They have it. He understands. He's confident. He's talking to Wally Moses. He's not looking past Shakur. Teofimo says he just noticed Shakur was looking at him. I've got a feeling Teofimo's father's been looking at Shakur. Like, this fuck is coming, bro. I know he's coming. And I've been getting ready for Shakur. I know I can coach and I can train you to get ready for Shakur. But is Teo going to buy into the father's philosophy, or will he go rogue? Has he lost the respect for his father to the point to where when he's in those situations, he's not buying in. He's not following the instructions. Or we're going to see a senior who's begging his son to move. Hey, champ, listen to me. Press this motherfucker. It hit his ass. You're letting him think too much. You're letting him control the fight. He's in your head. Fuck him.
Hey, you know what? You make a really good point. As you know, father-son dynamics, it's a delicate thing. We just saw Brian Norman Jr., who I won't say fired, I'll say let go, chose to make a change based upon, not because of his talents or his abilities, but he just felt like maybe the voice isn't being heard and he needed a different way of going, right? We've also seen successful father-son dynamics like the Haneys, right? The Haneys are doing really well. I can't really call Floyd a father-son thing because if I'm being honest, it was Uncle Roger Mayweather that really got Floyd to be Floyd. And though his father, Floyd Sr., has sprinkles of Floyd Mayweather, it's that pretty boy, man, that really made everybody go, wow, he's the real deal. So, when you're talking about the trainer side of this, Clay, you are very valid and you are very correct that as a trainer, and trust me, Clay, trainers are never really supposed to say maybe even some of the things that Brian Norman Sr. said after that fight, right? I mean, you're not really, but I understand where Sr. was coming from. At the same time, you never want to just air out your dirty laundry for any reason. But how many times have I been in there where I said to myself, if this motherfucker would have just listened to me, man, and would have just done exactly what we were practicing, we would have won this fucking thing easy. And instead, as a trainer, you got to sit there and be like, no, it was my fault. We just lost to the better person, right? You got to do all the right things because everybody knows in this fight game, unfortunately, fighters win, right? But when they lose, it's the trainer's fault, right? Versus I'm kind of like, you know what? Brian Norman Jr., it's your fault, bro. Because if I'm being honest, should have seen that coming. If anybody knows your dad more than anyone, it's you. So if you're preparing for the biggest fight of your life, a former pound for pound, and Devin Haney, you should have seen that coming as the employer, actually, because it's your body and it's your check and you're the one giving out the money. You should have been the one that figured out, hey, maybe I should bring in an Abel Sanchez. Maybe I should, just to help it. Now, like, I don't want to let my dad go. So in a lot of ways, again, man, Clay, I'm a lot more critical privately of the fighters because at the end of the day, I feel like, bro, that shit is on you. Boxing is, and I've heard you and we've talked about this before on the show. You believe that boxing is a team sport. I agree with you. Boxing is a team sport, Claymore, 100%, right? But you, the quarterback, bro, I need you to run the plays. Then sometimes if you don't believe in what I'm trying to call and you gamble on your play because you're the quarterback, you're the one on the field playing, you better be right. But when you're wrong, Clay, how is that my fault? I called the play that I thought was going to work. You decided to call an audible. Your audible didn't work. And I agree with you that Teofimo Lopez Sr. could be sitting there and he might already have a whole book of a playbook that beats Shakur Stevenson. And Shakur Stevenson has never been beaten. So how do you beat somebody who's never been beaten? And the dad could have been sitting there going, I know this guy's coming. And I've been planning for it this whole time. Son, please listen to me. Please, please. And his son, I don't know, Clay, I'm right there with you. Will Teofimo Lopez be mentally in a healthy space enough to just treat this strictly as a game and where he's going to say to himself, all right, man, I'm going to listen to my coach's game plan, my dad, until it doesn't work, then I'll throw some audibles? Or is he going to audible right off the bat because he got emotional in the first quarter, those first 3 rounds, right? We're going to find out. But if you're right, though, Clay, if it ends up being a Teofimo emotional, then this could end up being like Pernell Whitaker versus Jorge Paez. And Pernell Whitaker pretty much destroyed Jorge Paez because of all the clowning, dude. So you're on mute, Clay. You're on mute.
Shout out Robert Chandler, 3058 in the building, says, good boxing talk, fellas. Tio best chances to be a counterpuncher. The issue when Tio is aggressive is that he overextends on his punches and really opens himself up for easy counters. Hey, salute Robert Chandler. I agree with you. And I think that's another thing that's going on here as well, is what you're seeing, this breakdown here, what he's saying, right? He's saying Tio's best chance is to be a counterpuncher. That's what I believe Tio believes. The issue when Tio is aggressive is that he overextends on his punches. That's what Tio hasn't been able to communicate to his father.
Right.
That Tio understands when he becomes aggressive, he becomes open to getting hit. The father's not acknowledging Tio's not punching short enough. He's overextending on the he's not short enough on the punches. And the question is he able to generate the power without, I don't want to say telegraphing, but swinging the way he does? He opens himself up for a puncher who's a sharpshooter, a short puncher like Shakur is. He's a short puncher. He'll fake a jab up high and he'll stick you real quick, come right and stick you to the body, bomb, and get out. You know what I mean? Right in between those moments when you're opening up, he doesn't mind punching you short. You're right. He doesn't mind punching you short, catching you, and because he's defensively conscious first. He wants to make sure he can get back on defense. He's not caught up with trying to hurt you. He's trying to score. But the question is, we've seen him break down fighters, punching them to the body, punching them short, which is going to be another factor in this fight. Those body shots, watch out for the body work from Shakur Stevenson. Tio's not confident. And then he says he really opens himself up for easy counters. It's because he overextends. It's because he's trying to generate power. He wants to knock people out. So when the father tells Tio in the corner to go get this dude, he's not acknowledging that Tio opens himself up to being hit when he goes get Zeus, because Tio's not a good short puncher. Now, watching this press conference right now, what do you see? You see Teofimo up there trying to focus in. He's writing something on a paper, whether he's drawing, doing whatever he can do, right? You're seeing Wally Moses break down this fight on a technical level and let him know, like, you see the preparation on the Shakur Stevens side. Shakur ain't even talking. He's in there quiet. His team is letting him know, like, big dog, we've been focusing on we've been eating Teofimo for breakfast, lunch, dinner. We've been snacking on Tio. Pause. We all about Tio, baby. We your biggest fans. We your biggest fans, baby. We are so excited. Look at Tio's side of the room. Where's the support? Who's telling the world about Teofimo and his accomplishments? Who's letting them know that we've been working on a game plan? The father believes in Tio. He believes his son is the greatest. I question if Tio believes the same thing. Because you took away your biggest mouthpiece, your biggest supporter, and you told him to sit in the back. Will you tell him to sit in the back during the fight, Angelo? When he's in the corner trying to talk, are you going to tell him to sit in the back? Are you going to tell him you got this? Ray's back.
I'm trying to let y'all know. It just got popping up in here, bro. So, Tio made a derogatory comment. It was actually pretty funny. After Keith Connolly made a bet with Shakur, and he said, I got a bet for you. And I'm not going to tell you what he said. He said, but I bet you can't fit in your mouth, right? And Shakur literally jumped up out of his chair. It's like, what? Yo, you talk too much. Let's do it in the ring. Like, he said, I can't wait for it anymore. So he ran across the ring. Obviously, they got between them before he even got up. And
Shakur got up. Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I don't know. Yo, Tio is playing these mind games, which I was saying day one in that first press conference. And eventually it's going to get to Shakur. It's going to get to Shakur. It got to the point where even Wally Moses said, you better not say anything about my granddaughter. Like, or, you know what I mean? Or my daughter. So he's Tio's up there playing these antics, but he's starting to piss off the bull, you know what I mean? With the red, we call it the red cloth.
We got you, bro. The Toro.
Toro. He's definitely waving the red flag. That's what I wanted to say.
Right.
And it's
The bull in the
the
bull in the matador is what you're trying to say, right?
Thank you. Well, I didn't want to say matador. I knew that, but what I was saying was that we're looking at Shakur right now, right? So Shakur is Shakur's focused, right? But is there ever such thing as being over focused? Like you're just so anxious that you can't wait, and it can create also a distraction. Because Teo's sitting here now. Teo's playing on antics too, so that might be nervous energy. It's Clay always loves the nervous energy because he's like, yo, it points you out. It shows you who you are, right? He always says it shows you who you are when you get in that ring. Like it shows you who you are when you're in front of this person. So we're about to watch him face off tomorrow. Well, we want to see.
Well, let me answer. Well, let me answer both your points, and you're both correct, right? So Clay, Teofimo Lopez, and again, one of the things we noticed when this whole press tour thing started is the calm nature that Teofimo was doing, which is different than normal, right? Like when he was in the Arnold Barboza fight, you saw him wearing a Mysterio mask. He was trying to be like flamboyant and the whole bit. Versus on this one now, Clay, he's been a lot more, he's talking up Shakur, when the whole thing started, right? So when you were saying, hey, he asked his dad to stay in the back, I can look at it the way you're looking at it, Clay, right? Where maybe it's a distraction. I can also look at it as maybe Teo is in so much control that he knows his own emotions and he doesn't need his dad to rile him up right now because he wanted to counter already. And I say counter because if countering is his best game plan, as the chat had said, if countering is the best game plan, then didn't he just do that right now by having Shakur Stevenson get up and say, hey, man, I'm tired of all of this happening. I just can't wait to see you. Well, hey, point one maybe then for Teofimo Lopez, because Clay, you have to remember that in any given fight, in any given boxing match, right, in order for me to effectively counter punch you, you have to attack me. And in order for you to attack me, Clay, I have to give you something. I got to open the gate, bro, for you to come and get me, right? Yep. And so that's what I'm trying to say is I believe that actually this works for Teo's advantage because he's a bigger dude, right? This works for the advantage if he can stick to a very educated but powerful jab. I'm talking like a Larry Holmes style jab, because only in the jab will the counter come, right? But he needs Shakur. He needs Shakur to come at him, right? And this is why it's going to be interesting. Just like, Ray, and if Shakur, I don't think Shakur's losing is cool, but to answer your points, Ray, it is very possible that you're so focused that you know how like a trainer will say, hey man, I'm trying to get him to his peak. I don't want him to peak too early. So maybe Shakur right now on a Thursday is a little too dialed in, and maybe they need to go get some Korean barbecue or something. Just chill. He's
very anxious, bro. He is so anxious, and you can tell. And I'm laughing because hold on, I didn't mean to laugh, but Teo said you gave my dad a present and he's not even here, which is alludes to what Clay said earlier. Also, it's actually pretty funny because Teo kind of laughed when he said it. He didn't say it like he knows, like, yeah, I'm not bringing my dad out here, right? He was like, yeah, thank you, though. He's like, I might drink. Yo, it's crazy. I'll let you watch it if you're not right now, but it's so funny.
Yeah, no, I'm seeing it. It's on silent. And Teo's got his
guys, listen, right? You're talking. Listen, man. Listen to me, man.
It's crazy, bro.
We're gonna find out on Saturday for sure.
Yes,
we're gonna
will
find out on Saturday, right? But listen to me, bro. Teo does a good job with the antics. There's entertainment value in it in these moments. But let me tell you, bro, it's always going to be the root, the foundation to where it's coming from. Here's where I am with Teo. The more antics, the less confidence. I don't care. It doesn't translate. The funnier, the more antics, the more needy you are. He needs Shakur to not be mentally dialed in this fight. He's not confident.
I agree.
In a confident Shakur. He's begging Shakur to get off his square. But here goes the thing about Shakur Stevenson's psychology. with all the emotions and all the antics on the stage, Shakur Stevenson believes in the game plan. You piss him off, it motivates him to stick to the game plan even more. When Shakur gets off that stage, guess who he's going to? Terrence, Dre. What do you think they're saying to him? Champ, you know he's scared, right? Champ, he wants you to get off your square. That means you need to be on your square even more. He's nervous about you, about the fighter you are. So what's the last thing we're going to do? Be different. What's the last thing we're going to do? Change up what we've as a team come in here to do. You really want this victory, Shakur? You already know it. Then you know the key to the victory is to stick to the game plan. He's scared of the game plan. He wants to throw you off the game plan. See, that's what happens when you have Hall of Fame counsel. When you have a Floyd Mayweather who can speak to you, an Andre Ward who can speak to you, a Terrence Crawford who can speak to you. That's what happens. You might look a little emotional on the stage. Maybe you did get a little upset, but you got a team that's going to dial you back, that's going to land you back where you need to be. I don't see the Teofimo antics as mind games. I see them as mind games, but not effective mind games. I see that he needs to do it. Bro, we're 2 nights away from the fight, bro. Whatever you are at this point. Do you know who you are? Is your team on the same page as you? Yeah, guys, 50-50 on paper, 50-50 on pedigree. Mentally, this ain't no 50-50 fight. Mentally, this ain't no 50-50 fight. There's somebody who's fighting an uphill battle with mental health and confidence. And there's somebody else who's convinced, I am him. I am him. This is going to be a crazy fight, man.
Hey, let me throw this one at you though, Clay and Ray. If Teo does pull this off, automatically, if he pulls it off, no matter what, right? Automatically, he's on the pound for pound list because currently, currently Shakur is number 7, so he's already in, right? But does that mean that Teofimo Lopez also mentally beat Terrence Crawford and Andre Ward and all this other great counsel you just talked about?
Remember Floyd's in there too.
And Floyd, right? I mean, did Teo basically just say, yeah, it took you an entire team to try to beat me, and it still wasn't good enough because I really am that good, and now you guys have to give me the credit.
That's what I was thinking too. Like, it's crazy. I mean, this is a game fighter, bro. Like, a lot of people are writing him off. Like, he ain't going. This is going to be a good matchup.
I'll tell you this, Clay. For as much as we talk about, we've seen Teo in his failures, right? Mm-hmm. Like the Cambozos fight, right? And whatnot. What we also know is we've seen him when he's performed, and we know what his athletic ability is. But Clay, as the old saying goes, if you corner a rat and he's got nowhere else to go, that's the meanest MFing rat's gonna come at you, bro, and die on his sword. So I don't know, Clay. This press conference might be showing us what we need to see, and it's getting a little closer to 50-50, bro. It's getting a little closer to 50-50. I don't know. Some of those bets might be swinging Teo's way right now after this press conference.
Without a doubt, Teofimo is affecting the algorithm, and he's affecting the betting odds. He could be looking confident. He could be doing a whole bunch of stuff, right? But I'm telling you, oh man, it's a 50-50 fight, but Teo better be on point with this mental game, bro. Yeah. I'm telling you, he better be on point.
He will. I think he fights it. Like I always said, he fights his competition. I think he's definitely down. I can see it in his eyes. He ain't looking like he. I mean, I know he clowning. You can see it. And I know Shakur's locked in, right? And what's just so funny is, guess who's sitting in the stands? I don't know if you noticed earlier, Clay, if you were watching, but you had Terrence Crawford sitting next to Conor Bennett, his blonde hair.
Yo,
crazy. But,
this fight is going to be a great fight, bro. We don't know. Teo may be locked in, right? And like I said, I believe what I'm looking at here is a locked in fighter, right? But I can't wait till Sunday, man. Because
I know I got to see it tomorrow. Tomorrow's face off will tell me more.
Nah, it won't. It won't. It won't. You know why it won't? Because Teo is confident. Because Teo believes in his game plan. But the thing with Shakur Stevenson is that game plan might not work. And your ability to adjust, to make those changes, to identify problems and solve the problems that the fight is going on. This is where Teofimo breaks. This is where it goes bad for him, bro. This is where it goes bad for Teofimo. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't deal with that well. He didn't do well with it against Jermaine Ortiz. He didn't do well with Sandor Martin, bro. The adjustments, this is not working. I thought it was going to be this. I came in ready for this. I was confident in this. This ain't working. Recalibrate. So, the father not being on the stage, very interesting. Very interesting. Teo doesn't want the father emotions to potentially show weakness in the team. He doesn't want him up there. He doesn't want him up there, man.
Talking to your boy, Clay.
Let me see.
I'll say this, Clay. Like, just looking at even the stare down, Teofimo Lopez never took his eyes away from Shakur, and I could tell near the end that it annoyed Shakur too. Yeah, it annoyed him, right? But again, Clay, the best thing that can happen for Shakur, and again, I'm looking at it from the perspective that I know, Clay. Best thing that can happen for Shakur is to get a little nervous, because Shakur fights better when he feels like he's behind or when he feels like he's the underdog.
Yeah, Shakur is doing what he does, which is taking the fight seriously. He's full of all of that. He's got the nervousness. This is him, though.
No, but listen to what I'm trying to tell you, okay? Listen to what I'm trying to say. When you're speaking of this council and Bud Crawford and Andre Ward, these guys are greats.
A lot of weight on your shoulders.
These are greats that have been undefeated, and they're telling you constantly, oh, you got this guy. Oh, you're going to beat this guy. You're going to get this guy. You have him, right? The problem with that is it works backwards sometimes too, Clay. Because if you're
getting.
Well, I'm just telling you that
he's getting real counsel. He's getting this guy can beat you. This guy, you got to be on point all the way around. This is going to be.
I hope so.
Now, wouldn't he, Terrence Crawford?
I hope so.
What did Terrence Crawford say when he was getting ready for Canelo Alvarez? When he got ready for all his challenges, he won't even tell you how he's going to win the fight. He's not dealing with a corner who's gassing him up, who's telling him, "You're the best. This guy got nothing for you." That's not what he's dealing with. He's dealing with.
Hold on. Well, hold on now. Bomac had the whole speech while they were in the locker room right before the fight. You remember when Bomac, they always show it on the clips, and he's like, "You the best. This guy don't want you." You remember that? It's a famous clip. Bomac.
Okay, but that was the same Bomac who told Terrence Crawford in that fight against Canelo Alvarez when he was up on all those cards, he said, "You got to take these championship rounds. You know they're going to take this fight from you. You got to take every single one of those championship rounds." He's around truth tellers.
Right.
He's around truth tellers. He's not around people who are gassing you up into being overconfident. He's telling you that, you know why you're confident? Because you put the work in the camp.
Right.
Because you've been studying this. Have confidence in your team. Have confidence in the strategy. Have confidence in the game plan. Execute. Like we know you can, and you won't lose this fight. You know how you lose this fight, Shakur? If you become overconfident and you get away from the game plan, if you allow the emotions of this fight to get in your head. But you know how you win this fight? You win this fight by believing in what you built. Teofimo Lopez, is he going to do the same thing with his father during the fight?
And here's what I'm saying though, Clay. And you guys know from the very get-go all the way to now, I've always said Shakur's going to win. Shakur's going to win. So that doesn't change for me. No matter what the stare downs are, no matter what the weight is tomorrow, I'm rocking with Shakur because from the time he won that silver medal all the way up to now, I've always believed it's the genius that people just don't appreciate because they don't understand that we're looking at a Pernell Whitaker type of talent that can only get better, right? And what's really hurt Shakur more than anything else is how long can his hands last, right? But let me remind you, Clay, that anything can happen in a fight. Shakur hurts his hands because maybe he hit Teo in the elbow. maybe Teo puts out the elbow a little bit more. And let's not forget that Teo is smart enough that he does little tricks like punch you in the arm, then throw a left hook. Like they've shown these clips over and over again. Punch you in the shoulder, right? If we don't have a 100% Shakur Stevenson, there won't really be an excuse as to why Shakur lost, right? So Shakur has to be on his A game, but on his A game, no matter what the cost is, even if it means he broke one of his hands, like the De Los Santos fight, even if it means, he got headbutted and now he's got a cut in his eye, Clay. So I'm just asking everyone to have an open mind when they go into this best versus best and say to themselves, don't go thinking that Shakur is just going to walk in there and walk all over Teo. We're not going to know what we're going to see until we start seeing it. But I'm excited for that.
Yeah, look, hey, man, I hear you, right? Sunday, my crow will be eaten if it is what it is. I don't give a shit. If you want to take this take from me and I'm wrong and it throws away all my credibility, bye.
So be it.
I gotta call it the way I see it. Do I see Shakur walking all over Teo? No, I don't see that. But at the end of the day, what I'm looking forward to seeing, and if Teo can do this, great, because it makes even better for the boxing space. But I'm telling you, mentally, Teo, you're going to need your team. Do you believe in everything you've done during this camp, or are you going to go rogue in that ring? You put your father in the back room during this press conference. Don't do it during the fight, because you might find yourself by yourself in that ring, and that's not what you want. Because it is contrary to popular belief, it's not just you and the opponent. It's everything. Shakur Stevenson showed up, coach, ready. And if you pay attention, when Terrence Crawford is talking, when Wally Moses is talking, they're talking technical. Okay. Yeah, we know his strengths. He's a great fighter, explosive, and we know how he's done against southpaws. Teofimo's a well-accomplished fighter. They go back to his fights. When Shakur is talking, when he had fought Lomachenko, I like what he did in the first half, but I don't think Lomachenko he's studying. I think Teofimo Sr. is studying too. If you get on the same page with your father and show the world that a father-son dynamic can make sense, this fight is a great and interesting fight that you can win. Can Teofimo just beat Shakur by himself? We'll find out on Saturday, because he may show the world that that's what he chooses to do. Because right now, he chose to do the press conference by himself.
Hey, I mean, technically, here's what I'm thinking. Shakur, Teofimo is
wait 1 second, Ray. Well, hold on. Hoodrich says, y'all don't think you got Shakur head a little bit? Hoodrich, I want you to think of it like this, right? Yes, very possible that Teofimo did get in Shakur's head a little bit, right? But Shakur's going to go get off the stage. He's going to go home. And guess who's going to be waiting for him on the side of that stage or inside that locker room? The guy who you saw is doing an interview, Terrence Crawford. What's Terrence going to tell Shakur? Hey, bro, shake that shit, bro. That you already know. We already talked about this. This is what he's doing. He's trying to derail you because he knows you on your game is impossible for him to beat. Fuck that. Lock it in. We're going to do what we got to do. We're coming home with this victory. He gets humbled. He can get emotional in the moment in a press conference where he can't put his hands on Teofimo. He's going to be able to put his hands on Teofimo in that fight, bro. He's going to shake it off. Shakur knows the formula. He knows the recipe to being the best in the world. He knows to leave that emotion shit outside the ring. He knows that he has to dial in and be focused and be a disciplined fighter inside the ring. Teofimo brings the emotion everywhere. He goes everywhere with the emotions. Emotions is in the buildup. The antics are in the buildup. The emotions is in the ring. You see him get frustrated. He brings it everywhere. That's the difference maker in this fight.
Yeah. No, you good. I actually respect what you just said. That actually puts a different perspective on things. But what I was actually leaning to before that is, I don't think anyone is here, by the way, or in the chat. I don't think anyone's overlooking Shakur. Teofimo. I think what we're looking at is the ability of Shakur and what he brings to the to the table when he gets in that ring. I think as far as me trying to counter all this is Teo he's a dangerous fighter at all times, regardless if he's freestyling or not. Teo has found a way to win. Even when we thought he lost, he had moments. You know, we seen the headbutt. I thought it was intentional. I thought his dad said something in the corner, and literally he came out. He headbutts Jermaine Ortiz. Next thing you know, we got a different fight going on. Teo is to me is looking like he has changed. I think that after that fight with Steve Claggett, I think he changed a little bit. What's up, Bella? I think he had brought a little bit more of his will to the ring. I think he knows what he's done to make his accomplishments. He knows what it took to win. I think he's bringing that this fight. I think he's going in there knowing that this is a fight of a lifetime. He's fought guys as slick as Shakur. He's fought guys at 135. He's fought guys that's been as passionate as Shakur and champions, right? Now, advantage to Teofimo, yes, he's the bigger fighter, right? So that may pay a price or not. We'll find out. As far as on the Shakur side, Shakur's going up a weight. Shakur's like, yo, man, this is nothing but work for me, man. I've been in the ring. I box Terrence all the time. I'm in there for a reason with Terrence because I'm getting the experience. I'm getting the understanding of what I need to do and see everything I need to see. I need to understand how I approach. Where the tires meet the road here is when Teofimo gets in that ring, when Shakur gets in that ring, it's going to be the person that reaches is going to get taught, as they say, right? You reach, I teach. So we're going to find out who's going to be reaching because it's going to come to a point where we're going to see that. If Shakur, for whatever reason, and I don't wish this on, I hope everything's working out well with his hands. If his hands hurt, Teofimo is going to take strong advantage of it. And I won't be surprised, as Angelo said, if he leans to a tactic to try to hurt Shakur's hands some way or another. And I have another thing I'm going to put out there. I'm going to call this now. Shakur is not going to back away from this fight. He's going to fight in the middle of that ring. He's going to be as defensive as he can, but he's going to try to smother Teal's punches because Teal he's a reacher, and he's a guy that likes to take these wide hooks that you don't see. So I think Teal is going to get smothered, and he's going to find himself backing away to try to get away from Shakur. And once Shakur gets him on that back foot, Shakur is going to actually make him engage more. He's going to actually play the part. I'm going to move back, and now you got to come forward because you know I'm whipping your ass right now, and you're going to have to come over here and get some. And that's where the fight dynamic is going to change, which Angelo said, 4th, 5th, and 6th round. It's going to dictate the fight.
Shakur is going to show a lot of different things. He's going to smother him at times. He's going to establish the distance. He's going to work his movement at times. I believe Shakur is going to test the mental fortitude of Teofimo. He's not going to try to outdo nothing on Teofimo except for be the more disciplined, focused, and he's going to make sure that the fight is being fought where he wants it fought at all times. So if Teo wants to box, Shakur might fight. If Teo wants to fight, Shakur is going to box. Shakur is going to play chess. He's going to adjust to the energy in the ring. As Teo adjusts, Shakur is going to adjust. He's going to be Ray. He's going to be Ray Lewis, right? Or not even. He's going to be Peyton Manning.
Okay.
The question is Teo going to be Ray Lewis? You feel me?
Okay.
That's the question because he's going to read. He's going to say, gotcha. You're going to see the tight end fly over the
Omaha. You're going to see the
Omaha on the line.
Omaha.
And then Ray's going to say, oh, shit. And you're going to see the whole back, the line, the middle, all the linebackers shift over to the right. And Shakur is going to be like, oh, shit. I saw that. You're going to see a lot of Shakur's moves be snapped on the one. You feel me? He's going to be reading and his moves are going to be calculated. The question is, will Teo tire? Will he tire? After Peyton puts up 2 touchdowns, and if the defense is the defense, everybody knows Shakur's defense is there. And after Teo kicks on the 4th a couple of times, now Peyton starts to control the clock, starts running that ball, short little passes, holding on to the ball, weathering away at the clock. We got to see. This game is going to be played. It's going to be a cerebral game. Right. If Teo wins this fight, I know I'm about to be entertained because he's going to have to be entertaining for him to win this fight.
No.
So if he wins this fight, I'm excited because I know what I saw.
Right.
But if he's not ready to play the real game inside that ring, because he's showing that he's willing to play outside the ring, he's on the mind games. T.O.'s already set the stage and let you know mentally I'm trying to win this right now.
Right.
But when he gets in that ring, is he ready to play that game for the long run? Shout out to everybody who's in the building. I don't know, like 67 plus people in the building. Hit the like button now. Don't waste another moment. Hit the like button. And I also need to make sure you guys go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so yet. Do that now. Go ahead, Reyes. You about to say something?
No, I was just gonna say, guys. We're trying to grow the channel more and more, and the way the YouTube algorithm works is, if we can get to 100 likes, then the YouTube will push it out to further spaces, and that's really why it's important, guys. It's free. I know you guys listen to a lot of other different channels. Some channels you actually have to be subscribed to them to even do comments, right? And this channel is completely free. All we're asking you to do is press the like buttons, right? And share it with everybody so that the channel can continue to grow, so we can continue to give you more and more of this great boxing content that you guys like. And as you guys can see, Clay is extremely active with the chat. He's always putting up your comments. He's talking with you guys. So come on, man. We're not asking for a lot here. All right. We're all. Right. I'm a Filipino, so when you come into the Filipino house, all I'm asking you to do is take off your damn shoes, please. Take off your shoes and wipe your feet before you get in.
There you go. So, definitely hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Definitely do that. Subscribe to the channel. Hit the like button. Shout out to everybody in the building. Zero. Zero said, Clay said you might find yourself by yourself. Clay quoting positive K. Hey,
oh wow!
I got a man. With me, I got a man.
To do with me, right?
To hear that. See, are you a chef? Because you keep feeding me soup. You know what they say about those who sweat thyself. You might find yourself by yourself. For sure, bro.
Yo, crazy, right? Crazy,
man.
Yo,
hey, man. I'm telling you guys, this fight right here, and I can't help it. It's just who I am. As it gets closer, I'm getting anxiety. I'm going with Shakur for the win on this one.
Yeah, I think all three of us are going for Shakur from the beginning. So
for sure. Everybody, I mean, most people I know are going for Shakur on this one, but it's not just about the win for me. It's the psychology. It's the mental. It's a cerebral game that I'm watching being played here. I'm seeing Shakur, show how passionate and how committed he is and how much he wants this. That makes me excited. People want Shakur. If Shakur had been trying to act too cool during this whole situation, I'd have been more nervous. Nah, man, this is the mind state of somebody who's worked his whole entire career to get to a signature fight like this. When Tank Davis has played games with him, Devin Haney escaped him. And I'm not saying Devin Haney ran, but I'm saying he had an opportunity there to make that fight with Devin, and he let Devin slide and go get Regis. And I know from somebody who wants to be great, he's finally got the opportunity. I think he's going to show the hell out. Teofimo Lopez, a fighter who, in my opinion, is caught off guard a little bit. He's caught off guard a little bit. He turned down the Shakur fight years ago. I don't want that guy to jump off the top of a roof. He's emotional. He dismissed this fight. He thought his signature fight was going to be the Terrence Crawford fight. He thought his signature fight was going to be Jerome Boots Ennis. But here he is being part of someone else's legacy potentially. How much does he value? How much did he value this fight? Now he's in it. It doesn't matter. Canelo Alvarez didn't value Terrence Crawford. He didn't see him as part of his legacy. Fuck, this guy's 147, bro. I'm a 168-pound fighter. This is not even, what are we doing? What are we even talking about? Then he found himself in the ring with a fucking math problem.
Right.
He found himself in the ring with a hard-ass fucking math problem, bro. And he thought, yeah, man, if Caleb couldn't do it. Munguia couldn't do it. Man, you guys always been talking. Lara almost did it, but he ain't do it. Cotto thought he didn't do it. These guys didn't do it. This guy, man, he's just, okay, I'll take the free money. Nah, bro, that money wasn't free. That money came at a price.
Listen,
you got that money, but that math problem was hard. You ain't been studying long enough. T.O., don't find yourself by yourself inside that ring. It's a team
I don't think that happens, man. But I want to talk about, because I know you guys touched on
it. Hoodrich, if Shakur loses, you know what I'm saying? And T.O. is a great fighter. He's always been a great fighter, and he'll be a even greater fighter with a Shakur Stevenson victory on his resume.
Right.
Don't get it twisted. My eggs are in the basket of Shakur, on the Shakur Stevenson side. I just believe that he's a better fighter than Teo is. The competitive nature of the fight is going to be the difference. If he gets dominated by Teo, but if it's a great fight and it comes down to a decision and he loses a majority decision, or, you know what I'm saying? He loses a fight that was a great fight, like an Andy Cruz and a Raymond Morataya. Hey, man, it's just a great fight, bro. He's not the way. We don't throw him away. But, hey, man, pick your poison, man. Wherever you land, man. If you think Teo's going to win, that's what's up. I understand. You got you're getting behind a great fighter in Teofimo Lopez. You're getting behind a great fighter, and good luck to you. You know, I think Shakur is going to win. This is going to be a great fight. But the intangible, the conversation piece, the centerpiece of this fight is the psychology that's going to be exposed in that ring.
Hey, real quick, Clay. So there's so much boxing, right? And I know that we normally try to end it in 2 hours, but we've been talking Shakur and Teo.
And we about to go because I got to get ready to go, bro. I ain't gonna lie, bro. If anything, you know what I think I'm gonna do tomorrow? I'm gonna do another live at the same time, and we're gonna talk about everything else so we can catch up on everything. That's what I'm gonna do because unfortunately, yeah. But I mean, look, this fight deserved the attention it just got on the show today. It does. If you're a boxing fan and you love fighting, man, to dismiss this fight into a casual, I think this internet would be disingenuous. The fight deserves that kind of attention. You know what I'm saying? It does. It just does, bro. All platforms, I'm sure, will be talking about this all day long. This channel is more known for talking about a lot of different things going on in boxing at the same time. We try to squeeze it in, but it's 2 hours. But every now and then, there's an exception to the rule, man. And this fight right here is an exception to the rule. It deserves that kind of attention, man. It deserves the long-winded rants and the passion and the chat going crazy. It is what it is. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel right now, man. But guys, closing arguments or closing conversation, hitting points.
No. We're good. I mean, because I want to make sure that we ended in that 2 hour mark. So Clay,
we good. I got you.
To do the edits.
I did have something to say, Angelo, but I was.
If you want to do it for a quick minute, go ahead.
No, I'm trying to get it in. So listen, I just want to say, like, at the end of the day, we really have to sit back as viewers, as people, fans of the sport. And we have to acknowledge what greatness is. We have to acknowledge all those battles that we watched or heard about if we were younger back in the day. We have to. And the reason why we don't get to talk about these things or acknowledge that this is a fight, you know what I mean? We can lean this way or lean that way. We can have a favorite, whatever the case may be, or we may not like this guy because of this guy. We have to throw that all out the window. We have to look into this fight and go in here like this is what boxing is. This is each one of these fighters' biggest fights right now in their careers. And this is a clash. You're going to have a winner or a draw. And at the end of the day, we have to big our heads up to whoever wins or whoever loses. Shakur is right now the guy I'm actually going with, like everyone said. But I'm not slighting Teo none the least. I'm actually starting to lean more. My Teo bar went from like here and is actually closing in. Reason why? Because there's certain things and factors I'm thinking of. I'm actually about to go watch some Teo fights to actually see how he did with guys like that, because like Shakur, because this is going to be something to look forward to tomorrow, Saturday night. And I'm telling you, I don't think we're going to be disappointed. This is not going to be a Floyd Pacquiao. This is not going to be an Earl Bud. I promise you. I think we're going to get a very, very interesting, exciting fight, and we're going to walk out of here with our heads up high, and we're going to be like, man, this is what boxing is about. I promise you that.
All right, we're going to be back again tomorrow. We're going to talk Xander Zayas, Puerto Rico fights. We're going to talk about the fights happening in the UK with Bakram and Kelly. We're going to talk Sunday, Zufa Boxing with Jaleel Hackett and everyone else. Clay promises he's going to do a lot.
We're going to try.
You better get your ass in.
Nah, listen.
I'm
not promising all that shit that Angelo just said. That's a lot of shit you just said, right? But I promise you, we're gonna take off from where we left off at. I definitely want to talk about Xander Zayas and Abbas Baharu. I want to talk about the 154-pound division with a unified champion in it and what that means. I want to talk about Josh Kelly.
Hey, put that up, Clay. Zufa. You want Zufa?
Yeah. King for life, no doubt. I want to talk about Murtaza Aliyev. I think he's dialed in. He looked like a demon on that face-off with Josh Kelly. I want to talk about that. And I also want to, we sleeping on Josh? I don't know. We're going to talk about all that tomorrow. Guys, thank you. Hey, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, man.
Guys, help out my cousin, Hern, HERN.project. If you guys want some fashion, check it out.
That part, guys, you know what it is. It's that ATP Combat Media show. It's passionate. It was a good one, man. But until the next one, at this point, we out.
Yeah.
I would make it this far, they hated, they never believe me. Yeah, I would never drop the ball, I know I make it look easy. Yeah, Mayweather with the defense. I don't care what a critic gotta say, I got them picking up the pieces. That to me, you really playing with your life, I'm about to come and run it all back. I'm the new era, about to snap back.